Yo, what is going on guys, Max here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to get more kills in Fortnite on PS4, Xbox One, PC, whatever platform you do play on, and I'm also going to show you how to play more aggressive and die less. So with Season 9 lasting around 2.5 months, it looks like the drum gun is here to stay, meaning the meta is in a pretty bad state in my opinion. But I do feel like I have got my head around the meta, and that's why I'm here to reveal a few tips and tricks for you guys. So, being able to play aggressive and constantly survive fights isn't as easy as it sounds. However, if you have the right loadout, you can still be a big threat to other players even if you're not the best at the game. So starting off, to be able to play aggressively, you need a good loadout. For your first slot, you want something like an M16, which is the normal AR for those of you that don't know. And another good option that is very viable right now is the new tactical assault rifle. I absolutely love the gun, and it's the perfect weapon for mowing down your opponent's builds and just general close quarter fights. It has a high fire rate and a very tight spread, meaning that if you have great aim, you'll be melting people. Basically, all you're looking for is something that can take out builds quickly without having crazy bloom. The AK is okay I guess, but I definitely recommend running with the weapons I just mentioned, or a SCAR if you're lucky enough to get one. The next thing you need in your loadout is a shotgun. This isn't really the case now, and shotguns aren't absolutely necessary, but I just can't not use them as I'm so used to having one. I recommend running the TAC, as you're mostly going to be taking part in close quarter fights and hopping into people's 1x1s, and the TAC is much better than the combat in those situations because it has a larger hipfire spread, meaning that shots will be much easier to hit. It also has a headshot multiplier of ×2 compared to the combat's 1.7, but the combat is also decent when you're playing aggro and constantly rushing people, but it requires much more precision. It does have better range though on the other hand, and it can hit hundreds even when you're around 4 to 6 meters away from the person you're fighting, which is very impressive for a semi-auto shotgun. The third slot is always going to be a drum gun. I mean, there's no question about it. Even though it did just receive a nerf, it's still very good and is still definitely worth carrying. This gun is the key to being able to play aggressive because it is just so strong and good at breaking walls. It also has 50 bullets in each magazine, which will just let you mow everyone down without even reloading once. If you're unlucky and can't find yourself a drum, just grab yourself an SMG and the first person you run into will probably have the drum. Finally, get yourself some minis or slurps and a heavy sniper or RPG by the end game. Alright, now that I've covered that, maybe a bit too in depth, let's move on to your game plan. So people think that to be good at rushing you just need to spam everyone with the drum and constantly pressure people. That is partially true, however you have to be very smart to win those high kill games everybody wants. I mean, think about it, you're probably going to be on low health and mats for most of the game as you're always fighting, and if you don't find heals, it can be a real challenge. To be able to play smart, you need to make sure you know how to take different fights. For example, if you have no shield, you should try to never let your opponent hit you. That's because if you get hit, your enemy will find out that you're on white health, which will give him or her more confidence as they just need to hit you a few more times for a kill. Another thing you have to keep doing if you're playing aggro is moving around. This confuses your enemies and gives you a higher chance of catching them off guard. It will also allow you to play to your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. Even though that's probably not the best thing to do if you're trying to improve at Fortnite, it's always better to do something you know you are good at. For example, if you're good up close with shotguns and you know how to win build fights, then you should always try to get up close and personal with your enemy, as it will give you a higher chance of killing them. Moving around will also make you very unpredictable and make you less vulnerable to snipers, and it is also the key to getting high kill games when you're aggressive, as it lets you end fights much quicker when you rush. That is very important as you save time in which you can try to locate more enemies, which in turn will let you get more kills. Moving on, we have another important tip that will help you destroy your opponent's confidence, which is destroying their builds. If you keep putting pressure on your opponent while they build, it will make them panic, and it will also let you land some cheap shots. Breaking your opponent's builds is also very important, as it will allow you to dictate the fight, allowing you to do what you want to do rather than what your opponent wants to do. An important thing that you have to consider is when you crack your opponent's shield, you need to prevent them from popping heals or shields at all costs. If you don't, then what was the point of shooting them in the first place? I see so many people just let their opponents pop heals, and it makes me so triggered because they don't understand that they have a massive health advantage and they're just letting their opponent close that gap and make the fight more even. The final tip I need to give you to ensure that you're good at playing aggressive is play smart. Use natural cover like trees, buildings, or literally anything to your advantage when you are out of mats. Being a smart player can also mean learning different rotations people take and applying those to find people to fight. Knowing the map well is one of the tips that will make you great, as it will allow you to get great positioning and therefore kill your opponents with ease. Also, try not to let panic kick in, as that is your worst enemy when you are playing aggressively. Confidence is everything. But that is it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I upload tutorials constantly, and trust me guys, you do not want to miss them. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at max.gamer7. I'm currently sitting at 800 followers, so you know, we've got that creator code and customs coming in very soon. I'll be live streaming customs a lot in the summer, so make sure to tune in for that. We're going to be doing lots of fun stuff like scrims and other things to help all of you improve. And check out the playlist I made about how you can get better at Fortnite, by the way. It will be up on the screen in a second, and there's a lot of useful stuff in there. But on that note, I'm out. Peace.